Jock Journal Radio. Jock Journal Radio brings you NFL Talk Late Night. Just two hardcore fans talking football after their kids have gone to bed, and they invite you to join our conversation. If there's a hot topic or even a cold topic, these chumps will be drawing it up every night. So leave those nudie sites alone and call us. And if you're lucky, they might give you my number. NFL Talk Late Night from Jock Journal Radio.
Okay, Jock Stars, we got a great show in store for you tonight. We are packed with, we're going to be talking about the Pittsburgh Steelers, guys. We're going to be talking about the Cincinnati Bengals. We're going to be talking about how those match up. But after the break, we're going to be really excited to bring you the first ever inaugural edition of The War Zone. Yep, that's Susan T. Spencer and Marnie Schnieder. The two gals that visited us last week is going to be back. They are going to be talking about the Black Monday event and all the coaches that are in the hot seat still at this point. Will there be more coaches fired along the way? Could there even be coaches who are in the playoffs who might see their doom? We might even have to ask them a couple of things about the potential coaching vacancy of the Philadelphia Eagles. But with that, before we begin, I'm Nash.
And I'm Matt.
And you're listening to NFL Talk. So, Matt, I had an Office Space moment today. I literally melted the hell down. I got all these, micro paychecks. Jock Journal's not making billions of dollars, and I got to send out to people, who have written for me, and I appreciate them so much, and they're being really cool about this. But I'm trying to get all these W-2s out because guess what? It's that time of year, and I don't want to wait until late January for them to be late when I start paying them in February. I want them to be on time. So I'm trying to get these W-2s out, and I went to Office Max, and I paid like $76 for these sheets to come in. The pre-formed W-2 sheets, where all I have to do is stick it in there and then fill out the form, and bam, they're all printed, they're all created, everybody's happy. However, when I print these damn things, they don't go into the right cells that they're supposed to for that particular thing. It's almost like somebody handed me a disk to program for the wrong sheet. And I'm almost in tears because I'm so frustrated with it. I couldn't do it all day long. I spent probably 4.5, 5 hours just suffering with this damn printer. You ever have a moment like that?
That's frustrating. Yeah, I think you should let it out. I think you should cry, actually just sob right here on the air so that we can all point and laugh.
I damn near feel like
That's
it,
what
man.
I think you should do.
It is killing me. Yeah, I'm sure you've had.
You sound quite pathetic.
Oh man, it's not. It's one of those things because you know me. I'm very big on being accountable, and my word is my bond. If I say I'm going to do something, I do it. Bam. And it's really upsetting me that I can't get this taken care of. It's really irritating the days out of me, and I just can't. I'm so damn frustrated. I'm not happy about this, but there's a small dent in my wall where I got so pissed off and punched the wall. I'm so wound tight right now, and I'm trying to just bring it all down.
You need yoga.
I need something.
Yoga's weed is not working. You obviously need yoga.
I need something. I can't seem to calm the hell down. You know what makes me even more angry is when I don't have the ability to take care of things. I'll hang out on Madden for a little bit, but then guess what I do? I'm not one of these guys who just plays Madden. I bring a notebook and I start when I go to scouting each week because I play fantasy, the franchise version. I take notes this person has an A+ in this particular rating. I'm one of those type of personalities. So
as you talk, I hear the fun leaving.
Exactly. I'm one of those
That's
people who just takes everything.
So like you just squeeze the fun out of everything.
I'm a very intense individual. I can't do anything else but be like that. Even my fun time, I start making things difficult for myself. How do I escape Nash Carey?
There is no escape.
Okay. So I guess that brings us to our Shock the Jock question. And let's go ahead and preface it and play this nice little intro music that we spent probably too much money for.
So now that one of these asshats has nerve damage from the Shock the Jock, We play a little differently. They have a question, so surprise them with your answer. You could win money if it's shocking enough.
That's right, you can win a couple of dollars here, and this is going to be an opportunity for everybody, but we want to hear what your most intense moment in dealing with an inanimate object was. Please don't get too dirty, don't get too graphic, unless you want us to read it on the air, and then we will. So if you have an experience where you, I don't know, spent too much time with a pool cleanser, if you know what I mean, at the hot tub, you got to expect that we're going to read it on the air, and we want those stories. So go ahead and text us at 77948. You type the word text, space, and then your message, and we will put that on the air. You can also go ahead and email us at radio@jockjournal.com, or even the best way to go about it is just go over to jockjournal.com/JJR and go ahead and fill out that form, because that form will allow us to see what is on there. So, guys, go ahead. You got no character limit on that form. That's the best place for you to go. Just head on over to jockjournal.com/JJR, and we'll go ahead and take care of all of those and read those on the air. And yes, you do have a chance of possibly winning some cash, which everybody likes, right? Matt, what's your experience? What's the worst thing you've ever flipped out on?
Oh, dude, I'm an anger junkie. So,
Me too.
I put a skateboard through the wall once, not that long ago. Not since I've been sober, but prior to that, I had I just had an anger problem, and I would take it out on anyone that was around. I have quit many jobs, very spur of the moment. Just, you know what? You can shove this job right up your ass. And
somebody's ass is not an inanimate object. Okay, assholes not inanimate.
Yeah, so I've just flipped out a lot. I flipped a table over on a teacher when I was in high school. That was probably the worst.
Wow. Okay. All right. Was it your own desk, or was it their big old heavy?
No, it was like the
desk?
lunch table. They were sitting at the lunch table, and I had gotten in trouble, and then I went back in to yell, and then my freshman year, I got suspended for sagging my pants too low, and I thought the coach was lying about it. So you have to go turn in those locks, and they assign you a lock for your gym locker at the beginning of the year. I had to go turn that in, and instead of turning it in, I walked into the little locker room, and he has his little office there, and I chucked it at his head, and I left, and I got suspended for the year.
That's pretty
bad choice.
Yeah.
I'm proud to say that I have not flipped out. I haven't punched a wall. I broke a chair. I guess. Yeah, I broke a chair a while back. But that is a rare occurrence now over the last 4 years. So I really try and do the things I need to do so I don't get to that point, because it's uncomfortable. I don't like to feel like that. No one else likes to be around that.
Well, yeah, it is a bad moment, but I don't know. I can't help but turn even this Jock Journal thing. It was only supposed to be a blog where I was supposed to just sit here and say, hey guys, these are my feelings and these are my thoughts on sports. But I even went further with that, and I went crazy. And Thank
God it didn't turn into that, because that sounds like the sappiest, worst version of a sports site in the world.
Well,
I want to know your thoughts and feelings about sports.
It started off pretty good. That's what actually got things started this direction. Is I was like, well, I could duplicate this process. I could have more people writing for me. All I got to do is show them what to do, and we could turn this into something special. But now it's even this is becoming away from a job or a hobby and becoming a job. From the 740, we have sometimes when I bump into inanimate objects, I apologize. Jenny, you might be the sweetest person ever. So thank you very much for texting the show. Saying sorry to the thing you just walked into. If I stub a toe on a coffee table, that coffee table might end up outside in the cold. From New York City, New York, I flipped out one time on a bag of fireworks. See what happened? that I blew my fingers off and I just lost my shit. Signed, JPP. You done with JPP? Well, you know me. The truth is he did blow his fingers off and cost him $11 million. I once got so angry, I kicked a wall and gave myself a Liz Frank fracture. That is honest to God truth. I sure as hell kicked a wall, and I was in a cast with a Liz Frank fracture for like, what was it, like 3 months, something like that. It was not a pretty experience for me.
Okay, I have one.
Okay.
Now, that brought to mind, and you know this firsthand.
Uh-huh.
Excuse me. Nash, you know this firsthand. I am not a great loser.
Yes. No, you're not.
When I lose in Madden, or any game that's really close, I used to take it very, very badly. Well, in high school, and I know Luke probably doesn't listen, but I used to play one-on-one against this guy named Luke in Redmond, Oregon. And he's taller than me. I was very small in high school. And I just wanted to beat him, and it would get really close, and I would get absolutely irate. And I'm glad we didn't have YouTube back then, because I did the full-on screaming, yelling when I lost, just absolutely temper tantrum, flipped out, and slammed the ball as hard as I could straight into the ground, only to smack myself in the face and bloody my own nose. And it was right out of one of those things you see where I screamed as loud as I could and slammed the ball down and looked right at it as it came straight back into my face.
Matt just described him doing a Dan Carpenter to himself. If you guys saw it already on YouTube,
it was like that. It was probably worse. It knocked me over.
That's awesome. That is pretty damn cool. Dan Carpenter knocked himself silly with his own helmet after he missed a field goal or an extra point or something in the Bills game last week. Threw his helmet down and it came up and just smashed him right in the face. Great made for TV moment of probably a moment that he won't forget for some time, and nobody's gonna let him forget, especially on his own team. Oh, so, okay. Now that we've all determined that we're extremely alpha male personalities with inability to adjust to even some of the most slightest of pressures or tenuous situations, it's time to talk about a quarterback who's got a lot riding this week as Cincinnati hosts the Pittsburgh Steelers. Oh, last I heard, A.J. McCarron is still starting. Is that correct? Am I missing the boat somewhere?
Yeah, that's right.
Okay.
You are, but you're correct about that.
This guy has a lot riding on this, and he's already compared himself to Tom Brady. Oh my God. This has a potential of turning into yet another Cincinnati Bengal loss in the first round of the playoffs, as the Pittsburgh Steelers are coming into Cincinnati to show what they got. Now, right now, Pittsburgh is predicted to win by 3.5 points. I'm looking for statistics. I'm looking for something that says this might give Cincinnati still a chance. The only thing I could find is that the Pittsburgh Steelers defense is suffering at the moment. And because of that suffrage, we have we have to look at, does the Cincinnati Bengals offense stand a chance against that crummy defense? And I would say at this point, yes, they do have a chance. It's not going to be as one-sided as last night's game of Texans versus the Chiefs, but it's not looking good. What do you see in the X's and O's of this game?
Let me give you, and we talked about it last night, right? One thing I think no one is talking about is this. Cincinnati Bengals have the number 2 defense for points allowed. That's a good defensive unit. They have people all over, from Geno Atkins to Michael Johnson you can keep naming people in that defensive unit because they're all really, really good. I think this comes down to Cincinnati's defense versus Pittsburgh's offense, right? That high-powered offense. The problem with that high-powered offense that I think is this. They've had quite a few weeks where they didn't show up. Period. Yeah. They are a high-powered offense. Martavius Bryant last week sitting on the sideline halfway through the game. His own quarterback's got to call him out and say, hey, we need you to be tougher. So this team isn't this they have the potential to be good, and at times they've played unbelievable.
We have a caller.
But
Let's
at times they've also played terrible.
They have.